the longer you wait to do something, the more likely it becomes for you to never do it. There's always going to be some excuse to not starting. But I think that's also why I really like Nike's slogan of just do it, because it's super simple and straight to the point, where regardless of what's going around you, what environment you're in, you just have to do it. You just have to get started. You don't have to be great to start, but you do have to start to be great. So, with that said, if you want to get into Amazon, open up your Amazon seller account and just be committed and make it a priority. Getting up and doing it and sacrificing, watching Wednesday on Netflix and, postponing that, or Prince Harry and Meghan Markle documentary. Like, those aren't important. Get started. Do something.
Cheers.
Cheers. And welcome back to another installation of the Doughboys podcast. Today, I am joined by my two lovely, studly co hosts. I got Mr. Alpha himself, Logan, and Josh Golden Locks McGill. How are you guys doing today?
Doing
Doing
great.
good.
How are you, Cisco the goat?
I'm dandy, hanging in there, sweating, exhausted. Q4 is kicking my, rear end. It's
Mm.
definitely tough doing RA for sure during these days. But
On that-
I have a hot topic that I want to bring up. You know, it's been swirling around there. People want to know, Josh, what's up with the brick wall? Do you live in a prison cell?
One might call a university dorm room a prison cell of sorts, but I'll let the people know that I just passed the second to last test I'll ever take in university, so I'll be breaking out of jail soon here.
Right
Look
on.
at that! Congratulations, doing
Thank you, man.
work
Thank you. Yeah, it was big.
for sure, for sure. So let's go ahead and jump into our topic of the day. And it's something that we kind of touched on the past episodes, but we had a general idea of it, right? We talked about should you start a business, and we'll link the episode somewhere up here and in the comments, so you guys can look back on it. But I wanted to take a deep dive in of when is the best time to start an Amazon business, especially now. And I kind of wanted to get Logan's deep dive on this question, because I know he originally started with, selling from the dollar store and kind of worked his way up. And I kind of wanted to get, what finally pushed him to start and what his advice would be to someone who thinks this might be a good idea but hasn't taken the leap yet.
Yeah. Yeah. So I first started selling on Amazon because I saw a Gary Vee video on Instagram. It's funny. I was doing a live on my channel last night, and we were talking about how sometimes the algorithm really just kind of blesses you by showing you something. And one day, I just happened to see Gary Vee talking about Amazon, and he was talking about how you can like go to Marshalls, buy these shoes real cheap, and then go flip them on Amazon. And he said you can make a quick $5,000, and that stood out to me because if anyone follows Gary Vee, he's always preaching patience, and he used the word quick. You can go make a quick 5 grand. So I'm like, all right, Gary's saying this is quick. I'm gonna go look into it. And yeah, it really just seemed like something I wanted to look into. I was looking for ways to make extra money at the time. I was working pretty much full time at McDonald's, and I was in college and wanted to make some more money. So to try out this side hustle. Yeah,
Wait,
I
you
think
worked at McDonald's?
yeah, I worked there for about 3 years in total.
Wow, tell us more
Actually,
about that.
yeah, this is actually a passion of Logan's.
Oh yeah, I love it.
McDonald's.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
absolutely all in on it.
All
yeah,
right,
no,
let's course not course correct.
okay,
Let's go away from the course, and let's know this origin story of McDonald's. Like, how did you get
sure,
into McDonald's? What made you like it so much?
sure,
And yeah, this
okay,
is very intriguing.
yeah. So do you know? I don't know if you guys know who Ray Kroc is, the founder of
Of
McDonald's.
McDonald's,
So
yeah.
there was the
Yeah.
two McDonald's brothers, and he's the one who like, kind of came in, blew it up, and then he bought it from them. Yeah, I read his book probably when I was 14, 15, and I loved it. I loved the system he had built, his story, and I was looking for a job when I was getting close to 16. Decided to go apply at McDonald's because I liked his story. Got in there, and I won't say it was love at first sight, but after a few months, I was hooked. I love the speedy system. I love, how it's a never-ending problem to be solved. There's always work to do. You're always overcoming some type of challenge, and you're learning a lot. So yeah, I really enjoyed it.
So I know we've kind of gone off course a little bit, but I'm curious because one of the things that Ray Kroc it was very well known for, and what McDonald's is known for, is making every burger taste the same across all restaurants. So they have systems
Yes.
that allow everyone to just pick it up and just do it. Do you think those ideas have kind of shaped the way you run your Amazon business now?
They have shaped the way that I like to do business. I don't know if it applies to Amazon. I feel like Amazon's kind of a bit of an anomaly, but generally, I would like to, operate a business like that. And I liked McDonald's original system where they had a small menu. And yeah, we were talking about that a bit earlier. I like small menus. I think it leads to a more profitable and higher quality business.
Yeah, I definitely love the McRibs too. Um,
I've
McRibs are the
actually never had a
worst.
McRib before.
They're terrible. I'm just joking, but
Uh,
they come back from time to time.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm definitely an apple pie type of guy.
Yeah, those are good. Yeah, but I mean, that's my, I guess, McDonald's story. And yeah, I was working there pretty much full time in college, looking for ways to make more money. Give you that. And who should start an Amazon business? When's the right time? I think if you're looking for a side hustle, or you're looking for ways to make more money, and you have 500 to $1,000 to get started, and you have the time to get it going, I think that's when you should start an Amazon business. Yeah, that's my take.
It's interesting. Josh, what do you think are some like roadblocks that people have to starting? Like what's holding people back? What are their roadblocks? What are the excuses that are typically made, would you say?
I think, I'm not financially stable or I don't have the time right now, which is two things Logan brought up are definitely ones. And I'm assuming you're not asking about people that shouldn't start an Amazon.
Yeah,
Uh,
no.
yeah.
Shouldn't.
Yeah, people that should, the excuses, and I'm a little bit surprised Logan didn't say this, is always now. We want to put things off because we don't want to do it now. We're not efficient. And I think that's the main roadblock is just not wanting to go to the store, buy the product, get your account launched right now. I think that's the biggest hindrance.
Yeah, no, I agree. And let me elaborate a bit more. So, those things that I just outlined, I think those are ideal. That's the ideal starting point if all the stars aligned. But rarely do all the stars align, right? So, the more important thing is just you're looking for a way to make money, get started. Go make an account, go start scanning books, go to Dollar Tree, get started. If you're waiting for all those stars to align, then you're probably never going to get started.
Yeah, there's actually a really good quote by a gentleman named John C. Maxwell. Right? It goes something along these lines. The longer you wait to do something, the more likely it becomes for you to never do it.
Mm,
And I really don't think there's ever a perfect time to do something, um, because there's always going to be some excuse, right? You don't have enough capital, right? You only have 500 to start. That's a big excuse. um, and or I don't know how to get started. I don't know anybody who does it, or what's my family gonna think. There's always an excuse to kind of lean towards to not starting. But I think that's also why I really like Nike's slogan of "Just Do It" because it's super simple and straight to the point. Where regardless of what's going around you, what environment you're in, you just have to do it. You just have to get started. You don't have to be great to start, but you do have to start to be great. So with that said, if you want to get into Amazon, open up your Amazon seller account and just be committed and make it a priority. And that's how you're going to actually get started and really start seeing some progress made into it. You're not going to do it by listening to us on this podcast or listening to any other podcasts out there or watching, Gary V's videos. Part of it is just getting up and doing it and sacrificing, watching Wednesday on Netflix and, postponing that or, skipping the Prince Harry and Meghan Markle documentary. Like those aren't important. Get started,
Well,
do something.
I would say definitely do something. I'd agree with you there. but I'd say treat yourself to the documentary. So, oh, I opened up my Amazon account. I'm going to treat myself to the documentary. Oh, I went to the store and bought some product that I actually scanned. It was good value. Treat myself to some more Netflix or the video game that I want to play. Start those small steps, like what you're saying, so you can be great later. I would say that. A bigger question I had though was, you're saying when's a good time to start? You guys have talked a little bit about the economic like downturn that's coming. Does that affect
Mhm.
this? Does that make it a bad time now overall to start a business?
No. Logan, I'll let you go first.
I'm not an economist. I've never really been a functioning adult and lived through a recession. So take what I say with a grain of salt, but I would say no, it doesn't really matter too much, especially if we're talking about, starting with 500 to 1,000 bucks. If you end up losing it because of a recession, it's really not the end of the world. You can, work a couple extra weekends somewhere and make that back up.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, Logan talks about this too, like in some of his past videos, where, you have to know your why. And if you're looking for, a side hustle or looking for something to kind of kickstart your a career or kickstart, you making some sort of money, you're probably doing it because there's a lack of money in your life, right? Or a lack of something you're able to do because you don't have enough money to do it.
Hmm.
So even if you do go into debt a little bit starting off, okay, what was your starting point? You didn't have money to begin with,
Hmm.
so you're still in the same spot if you didn't have any money to do anything else. I was talking to someone who only has $250 to start their Amazon business, and he's a younger cousin of mine, and he was asking me like, should I start with this amount? And I was like, yeah, that's a low amount, but you should open the account, start learning, and start doing things, and on the side when you use those $250, start Ubering, start door dashing, start doing other things and invest those funds into the business. Everyone has, again, an excuse, but there's always a solution to that excuse. And I think for me, the most important thing when it comes to all this is mindset. Like you can't have the mindset of making excuses because you're always going to find one, regardless of anything in life.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned Uber and DoorDash, and I was just going to say shout out Richie Hustles once again, because whenever he was starting out in his Amazon business, he had two phones, and he would put up Uber Eats on one and DoorDash in the other, and he would just do Uber Eats and DoorDash like all night so that he could have more funds to put into inventory for his Amazon business.
Yeah, 100%. And he even does that, even does stuff like that for YouTube. Like he doesn't have his a camera set up or anything like that. He just has his two phones that he used for DoorDash and
Yeah,
Uber. Now he just repurposed them for YouTube videos. And I feel like sometimes depending on, what you're doing, that's kind of something that I struggle with. Like for me, doing this podcast and this YouTube with you guys is helping me gain confidence and say, okay, I can go ahead and start my own channel because I haven't yet. And I kind of fall in we're all human, right? We all fall into the trap of making excuses. Like if you look at my channel right now at Flipping It with Cisco, yeah, go subscribe. But if you go there, I only have, I think, what, 2 or 3 videos, and that's about it. And
Hmm.
I was always in the mindset that I have to have everything perfect, but there's no such thing as perfect. And this video and this rant a little bit is to hold me accountable too, because now I need to, eat my own preach and start doing something with it, and just, like Nike says, just do it.
So we're saying just do it, and the time is now to do it well. But is there also a time that like is bad? So it doesn't have to be perfect, like what you're saying to start up. But is there a time that you would start and that would actually hinder your potential? Like if you started your Amazon at the wrong time and then you lost too much money and you couldn't do it and your account was just sitting there, should you have waited a little bit longer to do that? Or are you saying there's no reason for that? Like, would it ever hurt you if you started too soon? That's a better way of asking it.
Maybe in other ventures, but I don't really think there's a an excuse to not start or to start too soon when it comes to Amazon. I mean, opening up your seller account technically is free if you don't do the professional account, right? So you're not losing anything there. You have it set up and you can always upgrade it to the professional account.
Cisco, what is
If
a professional selling account?
so, a professional seller account is what Amazon deems that it's a $40 fee that Amazon charges you to be able to sell more than 40 products without getting charged more. So if you don't have a professional seller account with Amazon, you get charged an additional dollar for every item that's sold. So if you plan to get started, plan to sell more than 40 items, you should go ahead and do the professional fee, which
Hmm.
is very low regardless if you're thinking
Yeah.
about if you start doing this at scale.
Yeah. Because, I mean, if you're going above 40 products, you're making more than $40. So you're getting your money back.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
have a ton of other stuff that they say comes with the professional account. Like some things, like if you want to integrate with software like Inventory Lab, you need it. And then they say that you need it to like get ungated and get the buy box and all that. But you can kind of still do it,
Yeah.
even though they say.
But I think they're still doing this because shout out to my mom. She went ahead and just did it and opened up her own account. But her first $100 worth of shipping fees were covered. It was zero. So even Amazon helps you get started.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
really
So they
nice.
yeah,
Wow.
so they just want you to do it.
Just do it.
And just do it. And not only that, I think Logan can speak to this too. The community is very welcoming.
It's
I mean,
fantastic.
yeah, I think between Logan and I, we talk to sellers that are new and are just getting started, and then we talk to people, like Phil and Oscar. Shout out Phil and Oscar,
Shout out Phil and
who
Oscar.
are doing hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in sales.
Yeah.
And
So you're saying
go
this
ahead.
community, if I can cut you off right there, how are you getting connected with this community? That's a question I had.
Light up on everybody's Instagram story.
Okay. So Instagram. What else?
Instagram's the best. Discord's good. I
Discord.
I had success with Facebook groups when I was starting. I feel like that's kind of on the downward trend, but I definitely met a lot of people in Facebook groups.
I know for a fact Logan meets a lot of people in Discord groups. Sometimes you have to pay to get into those, but like that's where you guys met, right?
We met in a Richie Hustle's live stream. Shout out
So
Richie Hustles.
YouTube is another one. All right, I'm just trying to give people some options here that they can go get connected with the community.
Instagram is the best, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I would say follow the rabbit trail that got you to this video. So if you're
Right.
watching this video and you don't follow us like already on Instagram, then continue following that rabbit trail, right?
You'll see people.
Go on to
Yeah.
the next video, see whose other video comes up, start searching those people on Instagram, and you're gonna find a lot of like-minded people. And
Yeah,
yeah, like Logan said, and like how you said too, Josh, there's a lot of people that do have paid discords or whatever, but there's also a lot of discords that are free. Like,
Right.
hmm
for example,
Right.
Logan's Discord is free.
link in the
Yeah.
description.
Link in the
And that
description.
and
So
those are
jump in
really
there.
good. Those are really good because then you're getting actual networking with people, right?
Yeah,
You're getting
Yeah.
actual network, and then you're also getting access to. I'm in there too, so you could always at me in there, and if you
Information.
have a question, I'll be more than happy to answer it. But you
Right.
also get Logan. That's Logan's Discord, so he is
Yeah.
very active in there. And if you have any questions, regardless if you're a beginner or have been doing it, at scale, we can answer the question.
yep,
Um, and everyone's really friendly. I mean, like you meet all sorts of people doing this, and
Yeah.
so regardless if you're shy, timid, or if you are an extrovert and love to be loud, like you're welcomed. Come on in.
So in there, I'm hearing another benefit is this helps you grow as a person. It brings you out of your shell. It's networking for people, potential other endeavors, but it also grows you as a person. Is what you guys are saying?
Yeah, it can.
Like, how have you grown as a person, if I can ask that, since you starting this Amazon business?
Yeah, it definitely added a little more weight to my pocket, which in turn added a little bit more weight to my stomach. Um, so that's how I've literally grown.
putting on
But
some dough.
Some
yeah,
like
putting on
three
some
hundred
dough.
dollar steak, Ruth Chris or something, or what are you talking about?
What? Who said that? Who went there? No, but I think yeah, it makes you a little bit more open to meeting new people if that's something that you struggle with. I personally have never really struggled with kind of being open with people and interacting with people, but I think
Hmm.
it's definitely helped me as far as internal growth to be a little bit more organized and be a little
Oh,
bit of a better mentor to other people that have joined the community. Like in my day to day professional job, like I have to be very organized in there, but I've never translated that outside of work until Amazon. So then I've used those skills to make my business organized, and in turn, because I'm running two different things and I'm balancing my life with my family, I've had to use my organization skills and prioritizing skills on all aspects of life, so I have enough time to do everything with everyone and still be there for the community. Shout out to the community.
Yeah, shout out the community for sure.
So if I have to go back onto when is a good time, let's say I'm working a minimum wage job 6 days a week just so I can afford rent, and I'm really tight on cash, and I'm rent and all my other bills. Is that affecting my ability to start up the company, or is it a good time?
Everything is so situational. It's hard to give like a broad answer. Like someone asked me today a specific situation, and I gave them like some kind of general answer, but then I said at the end of the day, only you are gonna know when you're ready for this. So like it's hard for me to just answer that question without having more info. But yeah, I would say like each individual person knows when they can take on something else. If you're talking about like financially, well, maybe you're working full time to pay your rent. What are you doing with your other 128 hours a week? Can you pick up another full time job? Can you pick up another part time job? Do you have family duties? Do you have other things that require your time? Are you really working as much as you can? And then maybe you have the money. Where can you cut time so that you have more time to put in the business? Everyone knows their own answers, but those are some general things to consider.
Yeah, and it kind of ties back with what we were saying earlier. Like there's an excuse for everything, and that's just one. Like Logan said, like one solution is, okay, what are you doing with your free time? Use that free time to make additional income, right?
Hmm.
You could also reach out to a good friend or a good relative that might lend you a certain amount of money to be able to get started, regardless if it's $200, $500, $1,000. If you don't ask, it's an instant no. So you have to ask if it's something you want to get started. You have to want to get out of the situation that you're in. If you're just making excuses, then you don't want it bad enough. You know, Unfortunately, that's just
Hmm.
kind of what it boils down to. And Logan asked me a question, off air in the past, and he asked me if I think that where we are in life is our own fault and no one else's. And I said, yeah, I 100% agree with that statement, because yes, there are logical things that act like random acts of violence that are out of your control, but how you respond to that or what you do with the cards that are dealt to you is what ultimately decides where you end up being in life. Like it doesn't matter if you're born into a rich family or a poor family. You're dealt these certain cards and you have to play them a certain way to get where you want to get. Those are just excuses. And yeah, having money is going to give you a certain advantage, right? And it's going to be easier for you, but just because you don't have that advantage doesn't mean you're not going to get to where you want to be. You
Right.
just have to do it.
Yep.
Right.
That's it.
I'll say this for putting in the reps. It's like going to the gym. When you first go to the gym, it hurts. You're sore, and the reps. Let's be honest, they suck. But if you stick with it past that second week, you start to even maybe enjoy the reps. You enjoy seeing the amount of weight you can push go up, and the same will be true. Um, I would assume you guys have both experienced this in your Amazon business. I see you guys post on your stories. Look at my sales this month. It's exciting. You get to see that scalability and watch like literal growth happen. So there's growing pains at the beginning, but then after you get going, it gets almost enjoyable. The work almost gets enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to echo what you're saying, Josh, and to kind of tie it into where Logan is in his Amazon business, Alex Harmozy had something to say that's something similar to this. Like when you first start working out and to get to the size, that he is physically, it took time, it took work, and I'm sure the process wasn't always enjoyable for him to like get
Right.
to the fitness level that he wanted to be. But once you reach to that point where you're satisfied with where you are, it becomes so much easier to maintain,
Mm,
Yep.
right? It's
Yep.
hard for you to go from 0 to 10K. It's hard for you to go from 10K to
Yes.
100K
Yeah.
in sales a month. But once you're there and you know the process, literally the difficulty flatlines,
so
Yep.
and
true.
it's just and it might become a little boring, but it just becomes, rinse and repeat, optimize things to make it quicker, easier, and take back some of your time so you can spend your time with family or other passion projects that you have. And you're good from there, and you've kind of unlocked the matrix in a sense, to where worrying about money no longer becomes a worry. It's just, okay, what am I going to do with my time? How am I going to still be productive?
Yeah.
All right, Cisco, let me ask you this. You said once you get to that 1K, it's rinse and repeat. Is there any way I could, I don't know, like outsource that rinse and repeat process? Do you know any way to
Listen,
do that?
no. So I'm learning. Okay, I'm still developing. Okay,
Do you know someone who knows?
maybe. So I'm still learning, and I'm really bad because a lot of times I work in my business, or I work for my business versus working. I forget how the quote
You
goes.
work in your
I'm still
business,
in my
not on
business
your
grinding.
business.
There you go. Yeah, so
Hey.
I'm still in there physically doing things, and I need to be outsourcing.
Outsource
Mm.
I don't
everything.
know who could teach me that.
Oh, outsource everything.
All right, guys. I think I know what you're hinting at here.
What are we hitting at?
So my business, just to give an overview, generates 6 figures monthly. Last month we did just over 200. Probably do 250,000 this year, and I have to work less than 5 hours a week. It's really like 30 minutes to an hour a day of what I have to work to keep the business going. And I think what they're hinting at is just announced today. I have a program coming out called Outsource Everything that's going to teach Amazon sellers how to get to that point, how to get back that freedom that we all are seeking through this business. So often we end up working in our business, not on our business. We ended up creating just another job for ourselves. So my program is going to teach you how to outsource pretty much every single aspect of your business so that you can gain that freedom back. This program is not for beginners. It's for people who have some experience selling on Amazon. They have the foundational knowledge, and now they're looking to scale or gain back their time, or both, through outsourcing. It's the people who are ready to take the next step or are ready to get their time back, not beginner friendly.
I love it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think it is that time in the episode where we get to Logan's quote of the week.
Find a person who is successful as you'd like to be, ask them what they do it, and work hard. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.